Now at 6, a local woman talks about her experience with the backlog of rape kits. Plus, going to take a look at the housing market in Joplin. And the Lamar Tigers is looking ahead to their Class 2A state championship matchup.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
At least 2 people are dead. This after a shooting in Baxter Springs, Kansas. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Jordan Abbey. Authorities responded to reports just before 3 this afternoon in the 2400 block of Lincoln. Cherokee County Sheriff David Groves confirms 2 people are dead. 1 person is injured. He was transported to the hospital. There's no word yet on victims or the suspect. Sheriff says there's no further threat to the public. KBI is now taking over the investigation. This is a developing story. We, of course, will provide more details as they become available to us. When a Native American is murdered or disappears on one of the 324 federally recognized reservations across the country, the majority of these cases are within federal jurisdiction, requiring federal law enforcement to investigate. Statistics show these communities see a disproportionate amount of violence and missing persons cases. More than 82% of American Indian and Alaska Native men and women reported experiences of violent victimization in their lifetime. Now, according to the Congressional Research Service, similarly, Native Americans also reported missing at higher rates than the general U.S. public. Among the missing Native Americans, authorities are still searching for Grove, Oklahoma native Aubrey Dameron. She was 25 years old at the time she went missing back in March of 2019. If you have any information about the location of Aubrey Dameron, you're being urged to contact the Delaware County Sheriff's Office, the OSBI, or the Cherokee Nation Marshal Service. Pittsburgh is gearing up tonight for the Christmas parade there. Dow and Doug are there. Take it away, guys.
Hey, we're going to talk to Doug in just a moment. The parade is going to start at 6:30 tonight, but the floats are lined up now. Among them is the Fort Scott Community College Cosmetology School, along with the Grinch and Mary Lou. Can you say hi, 4 states?
Hi, 4 states!
All right, that's one of a dozen floats that are going to be participating. There are 60 entries in all. Of course, it's marching bands and it's a dance group, and there are going to be lots of cool cars. This is one of those cool cars, about as cool as anything south of the North Pole. I mean, it's about as cool as a red sleigh, I would think. Actually, This is a 1970 classic Corvette. It and all the others are going to be marching down Broadway here from 10th to 2nd Street at 6:30. And the weather, Doug Hetty, looking pretty nice.
It really is looking pretty good. I mean, it's chilly, it's dark out here, and it's a little breezy, but most of us are sitting into the mid-50s right now. We'll drop back into the upper 30s later on tonight. The concern tonight is going to be the winds. The winds are starting to pick up. We're getting winds gusting 10 to 15, but they're going to push 50 later on tonight. We also have some clouds which are increasing across the region. This will continue as we go through the overnight hours. So mostly cloudy skies, but we're going to stay mainly dry. So we'll slide back into the upper 40s as we go through the overnight hours. Again, the winds are going to pick up. Big roller coaster ride on temperatures this week, so we're going to be breaking all that down for you here in just a bit.
I must say, your no-shave November beard does not quite rival the other bearded celebrity here. Santa himself is going to be
the gray. I'm getting the gray.
Yeah, his is white.
It is true.
And he's going to be at the back of this parade, I understand, in a big red fire truck.
Nice.
Not quite North Pole weather here, though. It's pretty nice. We're going to see here in just a few minutes.
You know, it's always neat to see, Dow Quick, the child come out in your eyes as you're talking about these festive Christmas floats and the creativity that went into them. It's always good to see that. Mr. Dow Quick, Mr. Doug Hetty, we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks so much. There may be changes to the housing market in Joplin. KOAM's Yana Hitala spoke to a Joplin real estate agent. Yana has more.
Real estate agent Shaylee Brown says the housing market in Joplin is moving from seller's market to a more normalized market.
Inventory in Joplin has been very low. We've been in like the 200 homes on the market, 300 homes on the market.
Brown says the market now has around 600 to 700 homes.
Buyers are getting a little bit of reprieve, and we're normalizing just a little bit, which is good.
She says interest rates are going up, which affects on how many buyers are out there.
While interest rates are shoppable and you can always redo your interest rate. So even if you buy right now with a little bit higher interest rate, if they drop again, you can refinance and change your rate, right? So we like to say, marry the home, but date the rate.
A Joplin resident recently bought a new home. She's happy that there are more houses on the market to choose from.
It felt like it was a good value for the home, and we did have the home appraised too, and it was that value.
Buying a home before Christmas can be important for many.
I wanted to get a tree up and be able to maybe put lights on before we actually got settled in anywhere, and we found people that would rent our current house out, and they wanted the same thing. So we ended up doing November 10th so that everyone had time to do holidays with families and they could be in the house.
Brown says they see more serious buyers with Christmas time approaching.
Sometimes December is our highest month of sales as a company, so a lot of times people try to get into homes before the holidays, so we've actually had a pretty active Thanksgiving break. We just came off of quite a bit of work over Thanksgiving break, which is good. Hopefully we'll get people into their homes before Christmas and they'll get to start the new year in their new place.
Janna Hautala, KOAM News.
Brown expects the housing market to stay the same for the rest of the year. Coming up, Pitt State announcing a new partnership with Washburn University. Going to have those details, plus how the city of Joplin is getting into the holiday spirit. Missouri has untested rape kits dating back to 1997. Recently, the state received state and federal funding to test 70% of its kits from 2018 to 2020. KOM's Carrie Worthen spoke with a survivor about her frustration in waiting for her safe kit to come back.
The 19th of this month was 14 months since I was sexually assaulted.
Safe kits are backlogged across Missouri. I spoke with one anonymous victim about her wait and her safe kit results.
So I am just really frustrated that nothing is being done. Nobody knows really in the public how backlogged the state crime lab is because it's not talked about.
Captain William Davis says it's not an issue in Joplin, but more of the Missouri Attorney General's office.
We have about a 2-week turnaround right now that those have to be shipped out to either
the backlog of untested rape kits isn't limited to just law enforcement agencies or the state's crime labs. Even hospitals are on that list.
Send them off to,
now, the rape kits are collected at a healthcare provider.
The
in
anonymous
most cases,
victim
usually
said
at the
she
request
filed a
of law
protective.
Okay, we're having some technical difficulties, obviously, with airing that story. We hope to bring you that story later in the newscast, or at least provide it on our website. To prevent a backlog, by the way, of safe kits from developing in the future, the Missouri Attorney General's office has developed an evidence tracking system. It's going to track safe kits from production through case adjudication as it moves through the organizations during this process. This year, a new law is in place where if any employee can get insurance from an employer, but it's not affordable to include family on the plan, and they can get insurance from the Affordable Care Act. Freeman Health System is offering assistance to make sure families can get enrolled in the healthcare marketplace.
Where they've gotten rid of the family glitch. So years past, if an employer offered health insurance to the employee that was affordable under the 9.5%, that met the criteria, but the family wasn't eligible to get ACA through Affordable Care. That has gone away. If an employer offers health insurance,
the affordable rate is 9.5% of the income. If health insurance exceeds 9.5% of income, then it is considered unaffordable, and the person can get tax credits from the ACA. Pitt State today announced a new partnership with the University of Washburn. Partnership is going to speed up the process of getting a law degree. Under the program, students are going to be able to spend 3 years at Washburn, 3 years at Pitt State, wrapping up the degree 2 years earlier than normal.
What that means is students would do 3 years of coursework at Pittsburgh State, and then they would immediately go to Washburn Law, where they would do 3 years there. What this means then is that students can complete a bachelor's degree from Pitt State as well as a law degree from Washburn in 6 years total.
Students accepted in the program are also going to get at least $5,000 in scholarships. City of Joplin officially in the holiday spirit after lighting the City Hall holiday windows. Beautiful, look at it. Visit Joplin installed a stained glass holiday scene in the front windows of City Hall. The 3-pane painted vinyl panels resemble a stained glass effect and complement last year's windows. The window looks out on a main street in Route 66 with doggies. The window was painted by local muralist Sandra Pemberton. Doug is live with a Pittsburgh with a complete look at the forecast. That's next. A little bit later, we're going to hear from the Lamar head coach, Jared Bashore, on their state championship matchup later this week.
Well, of course, we're out here live on 12th and Broadway, downtown Pittsburgh, getting ready for the Pittsburgh Parade, which kicks off here shortly in about 15 minutes. Of course, we got all the floats lining up behind us. There's the girls again from earlier in the newscast. But it looks pretty good outside. Here's a little earlier shot from Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. And you can see those mid and upper level clouds, which are continuing to push in across the region. That's going to be the case as we go through the overnight hours tonight. A lot of clouds really thickening up. But temperature is warmer for us today, mid 40s yesterday, and then we went into lower 60s for highs during the afternoon hours. Temperatures right now, most of us upper 40s to low to mid 50s. 48 in Fort Scott, 51 in Parsons, 49 in Miami. We have Carthage sitting at about 48 degrees, and we can look at 7th and Rangeline. Looks pretty good. We are dry. Even though we are getting the clouds, we are going to stay on the dry side as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Now, the winds are really going to pick up. It's not that windy right now. We have south winds at about 5 to 10 to 15, but these are really going to start cranking mainly after 30 or after 8, 9 o'clock. They'll start getting above 30 to 40 miles per hour. So it's going to be super windy. Here's your day planner, or your overnight into the morning planner. 52 at 7, 51 by midnight. We'll drop back to about 55 by 6 a.m. Overnight low only down to 47 degrees. But you can see the clouds increasing across the region. These are going to continue to thicken up tonight. Next storm system is rolling in. Now, most of the energy is going to stay across the northern parts of the plain, so we aren't going to really see much in the way of moisture. We may get a sprinkle or two late tonight into tomorrow, but that is about it. Most of the rain or snow will stay up across the northern parts of the plains, where they could pick up several inches of snow across Nebraska, South Dakota, and then up into parts of Minnesota. All right, let's go through time for us tonight. Thick clouds, we drop back upper 40s, but the winds really pick up as we go through the overnight hours. We'll have mostly cloudy skies through the morning. We could see a sprinkle or two. Temperatures, they're going to warm into the 50s, right back into the 60s once again for highs. Again, we could have a random sprinkle in the morning, and then by the afternoon, we get plenty of sunshine. Look at our temps. Most of us are going to be into the mid 60s. Very strong cold front rolls in tomorrow night, so this means sharply colder temperatures. We'll drop back all the way down into the mid 20s for overnight lows by the time we head into Wednesday morning. Of course, what we are going to see with this storm system is going to be the wind. So it's going to be super windy, especially tomorrow morning. Here's your day planner: 56 in the morning, 64 by noon. We'll back down to about 52 by 5 as that cold front rolls in. But I still think our high temp is going to be about 66 as we go into the afternoon hours. Check out our wind gust. So these are going to be cranking 45 to 50 by morning. Super windy all morning, and then they will start to diminish just a little bit by the time we get into tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. So of course tomorrow is going to be tonight into tomorrow. Wind forecast, we're kind of teetering here on your trash can is going to be in your neighbor's yard, or it could be almost gone forever because it's going to be super windy later on tonight. We do start to warm things back up a little bit later on in the week, but we also get some rain chances, which are going to start to roll in by the time we head toward the weekend. But most of the week is going to end up being dry. All right, for you tonight, 47, very windy. Tomorrow, 66, partly sunny skies. Again, the winds are going to be super strong. Down to 25 tomorrow night. 42, that's it on Wednesday. Back to 50 Thursday. A few showers Friday. Better chances for rain on Sunday and Monday. And of course, don't forget, we're going to do the winter forecast on Thursday, which is December 1st. Jordan?
Yeah, December's coming up. This is kind of crazy how November came and just went away. Meteorologist Doug Eddy, thanks so much as always. We appreciate it. Have an update on the shooting investigation in Baxter Springs. Authorities say they have the person they believe involved to be in the shooting in custody. They're not seeking anyone else. The person detained is not one of the 3 shot, however. All right, still ahead, Pitt State opening its conference schedule against Lincoln. Going to preview those games coming up, and how the Chiefs have won 5 straight games. Going to hear from the team next.
The Pitt State Gorillas are 4-1 to start the season, and they're coming off a huge win. The Gorillas dropped 95 points in their home opener their last time out. PSU is back on the floor today, kicking off its MIAA schedule against the Lincoln Blue Tigers. The Gorillas enter the matchup with 4 players averaging 10 or more points per game, with Tristan Gegg leading the way. This one is just getting started. The men also host Lincoln in their MIAA opener this evening. The Gorillas are off to a 2-3 start in their first season under head coach Jeff Boschee. The Blue Tigers are 3-0. Tip-off is at 7:30. We'll have highlights from both the women's and men's games at 10. The Lamar Tigers are headed to the Class II State Championship. Lamar beat Seneca 56-14 in the semifinals on Saturday. The Tigers enter the game with a 12-1 record and plenty of experience. The program has won 8 state championships. Last year, they made it to the title game, but fell to Lutheran St. Charles and finished as the runners-up. So the Tigers are extra motivated for a better outcome this time.
I think it means a lot for them. I think that they've, especially how last year ended, I think they've wanted a chance to get back and prove themselves, and these kids are playing like they're wanting to prove themselves. We know what our expectations are, and we kind of embrace those expectations. The kids know that it's the expectation, but we try to make sure that they're appreciative of the opportunities as well, and they're not taking stuff like this for granted. They're enjoying the moment, and I think our kids are doing that.
Lamar will face Blair Oaks in the state championship this Friday at 3 p.m. The Kansas City Chiefs picked up their 5th straight win on Sunday and improved to 9-2 this season. The defense held Los Angeles to 198 total yards and just 10 points. Kansas City recorded 3 sacks and 2 interceptions, including a pick from Nick Bolton, his second in 2 games.
Our D-line did a hell of a job beginning of the day, generating pressure, getting the hands up. Shout out to Close on that pick. That's basically 75% him, 25% me. So I give him credit on that one. But also, we're just kind of catching the balls that come to us. We had a couple ones early in the year that we just dropped. So we just kind of made a focus on that. I kind of feel like down the stretch, we were able to tackle well, forcing them to throw check downs, especially when they needed points at the end. And now I feel like our front played pretty good, and our secondary covered very well.
That's a look at sports. We're back after this.
Served in the U.S. Marine Corps from 1965 to 68. The Dunawig, Missouri native served in the 3rd and 1st Marine Divisions. We are proud to thank and salute Paul Decker. He's this evening's 4-state hero. Well, tomorrow is Giving Tuesday as a way to encourage donors to give to charities as part of their holiday preparations. The Better Business Bureau encourages donors to give, but give wisely. They provided some tips to follow to ensure you're donating to the right cause. If you're unfamiliar with an organization, don't hesitate to ask the charity for written information about its programs and finances. They also say to not succumb to pressure to give money on the spot. You need some time to think about it a lot of times, right? And before donating used items, make sure they're in good shape to reuse.
Try to go with an organization that you recognize. Be on the lookout for name similarities. So sometimes, intentionally or not, charities will pick a name that's similar to a well-known charity. That could be an indication of a scam, or just could be somebody with good intentions who went the wrong way and didn't do their research.
KOAM is looking to brighten the holiday for kids right here in the 4 states. If you're out shopping for the holidays, we invite you to pick up a new toy for our Toy Box project benefiting area kiddos in need. It all makes it easy to give a financial donation as well if you prefer. You can also find the links on our website, also the KOAM News app. Our first Toy Box Tuesday telethon, by the way, is tomorrow during our noon, 5 and 6 p.m. newscasts. All right, you all just Doug Hetty joining us. Final look at the forecast.
Well, of course, we're out here live in Pittsburgh, about ready to kick off the parade season, and temperatures for us tonight really not that bad. We only drop back into the upper 40s. It's going to be the winds. The winds are going to be gusting upwards of 50 miles per hour, and then 66. Partly sunny tomorrow and turning colder tomorrow night.
Doug, thank you so much, and thank you for joining us. Going to leave tonight with a live look at the Pittsburgh Christmas Parade as it's about to get underway. We'll see you at 10.